Okay, so today for the Miss MMM. Wow, I can't even say my own name. No wonder people have problems with it. But anyways, today for the channel, um, I would like to say I was gonna record this a week ago, but then I was busy with work, and then I was busy playing The Sims, and then just now my computer went out because of a electrical surge because of thunderstorms. The state sucks. So I was like, you've lost your progress on the stupid Sims 4 game. Why don't you actually try to make a video? So hopefully I get this done, put it on my blog. Hopefully you like it. So what I wanted to get back into is reviewing movies. And those are basically two of the big things I used to really love and other people liked on my blog, missemmamm.com, which is reviewing movies and instant streaming titles that are available currently. Now, I used to always do Netflix, but Netflix over time has decided to do a lot of original programming, and then they don't get as many newer movies, and they lose a lot of stuff, and at the time, whenever Netflix first, was doing streaming, they were the only, game in town. Now you have all the competition. So I have a subscription to Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon. So today we're going to talk about another title, like I did on my last video for Age of Adeline, which is actually available on Hulu. That is the Hulu when you buy the extra option to get Showtime with it, which I do recommend because Showtime has a ton of TV shows that you might enjoy and also newer movies. So the movie I'm reviewing today is called The Duff. Now, you might be like, why are you watching this stupid movie? I have a couple reasons. My main reason is I never really got, until I lived with a guy, the thing about, like, saving TV shows and movies to watch with people. So sometimes there's other stuff that I would really like to watch more, but I know we would enjoy it together. So my boyfriend was at work the other day, and I was like, well, I'm going to exercise. While I'm exercising, let me see what kind of, up-to-date movie is on Hulu. And I saw The Duff was on there, and I was like, I remember the commercials and the trailer for this whenever I was in Florida. It looks so bad. It could be so bad it's good. Also, it's probably interesting enough that it will distract me while I'm exercising. So, the Duff, in case you don't know, Duff in this movie stands for Designated Ugly Fat Friend. Now, the Duff is about a girl, Duff, who apparently she has, a couple of really hot girlfriends, and guys only talk to her so they can get and go with the other girls. And then her longtime neighbor, who they've been friends, or I would say acquaintances since childhood, tells her she's the Duff, but he tries to say like it's not in an offensive way. And then, of course, when she finds this out, she's like, that's why I can't get that cute guy at school I like. I will totally get the makeover from my male friend and, of course, offer him something in return. So, I originally thought I would hate this movie. And then when I started watching it, for a few minutes I thought maybe I won't hate it because it very much is a throwback to the late 90s, early 2000 teen movies that they basically spoofed in Not Another Teen Movie. Specifically stuff like oh my god. What the hell is the name of that movie? For the Freddie Prinze Jr. She's all that. Specifically that kind of thing. Like, this girl, and that you make fun of a non-other teen movie, like, she's so unattractive with her overalls. Yes, the girl in the Duff wears overalls to school. That was like a fashion thing when I was like 13 or 12, and then it went out of style. And then I didn't wear them again until like 2 years ago. And I was just like thin. And I was like, I fit into these Adam Levine overalls. But in general, they're not really flattering on anybody. And it's just like an old teen cliche to put them in there. Now, the girl is not fat at all. She's not anorexically skinny to the point where I think she weighs 95 or 100 pounds, but there's no way she weighs over 125 or 130, and that's probably more than she weighs. She's not tall like her friends, so she's not like 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", whatever. She's probably still taller than me, though, probably 5'6", 5'7", so you have just an average girl. They try to go through the stuff and be like, look how cool her friends are. This friend is like, exotic looking, and she's really like tough. And that's how her hobbies are. So guys are like, ooh, I play video games and then do her. And like the other friend is like crunchy granola, likes yoga, really nice to everybody, wants to be a fashion designer. And they're like, yeah, bang her head into the headboard or whatever. And then they're like, she's the best at this, she's the best at this. This is all the opening. And oh, by the way, I will have spoilers now. And then they're talking about the main girl, which, yeah, I can't remember her name. I watched the movie a week ago because I can tell you how much I've retained from it because I don't retain things that aren't important. She likes horror movies or old cult movies or some shit like that. She's watching like Vincent Price, and then people are like, who's Vincent Price? Which nowadays I feel like even if people don't know stuff, they're just like, they check it on their phone and they're like, oh, okay. I don't care about that, but I know what you're talking about. So I feel like it's mean to like bag all over this movie. I think it didn't make much money at the box office, but if you looked at the trailer, it was annoying. I feel like the movie came out 20 years later than it should have. And you could tell, I don't know who wrote this movie, I don't know who directed it, I honestly don't care. But whoever did those things, they obviously weren't younger. Like, I'm in my early 30s, but I know that whenever I share something, like on YouTube, or if it was like Snapchat or Vine, or whatever the video was, you can't share stuff on Snapchat of other people, can you? I don't care. Anyways, whenever you share it, you don't say, I'm making this go viral. There's some terrible writing like that in this movie. And I feel like maybe they need to have like a youth consultant or whatever the hell who could come in and say, look, like, that doesn't make any sense. If I was a teenager watching a movie, that would bother me even more because, you know, they grew up with all this technology. Where I didn't get it till I was literally 12 or 13. We didn't have anything, dial-up internet. So there's stuff like that that isn't good. Here's what I'm going to say. Do you remember back in the day, the teen movies, they always have a barely there parental figure, or they aren't there at all because they went on a trip. They also mock that in Not Another Teen Movie. It's like a, you know, kind of like how Risky Business, his parents aren't home, so that's how he can run the prostitution ring. Any other movie, that's why they can throw like a, you know, house party. Well, in this movie, or just so like the parents neglectful or whatever, so the main character can't look up to them, as if we actually go to our parents and ask them about, like, I don't know, dating stuff when you're like 18, 17. So anyways, the girl's mother in the movie is played by Allison Janney, who I did not know shit about until like a year or two ago, and since then I've been seeing her in all kinds of stuff, and she's really good. And you know there's something wrong with a teen movie when the mother is like the best character in the movie. Literally, the mother is interesting, funny. She's like a divorced woman who's sitting there drinking on the couch, like in a flashback, watching The Simpsons, when she comes up with an idea to make her own self-help, like, empire. And then she's taking, like, selfies and stuff for a dating website at one point, and the girl has to help her with her profile. And it's just like, I would rather watch that woman's story than the actual story of the Duff. Now, there's a lot of other problems. The two friends who are supposed to be so distinctive because they have all these things about them are really generic in a generically good-looking sense. Like, at one point, there's a main villain girl character, which you're going to have in real life because girls can be bitches, unfortunately. And that girl and her friend are, like, plotting against the main girl, right? But the main girl has two best friends that she has a falling out with, and they're also a blonde and brunette. And for a second, when the evil girls are doing something, I actually thought it was her friends who aren't doing anything to her doing it, because that's how vague these people look. Another problem is she has a crush, right? And he's like that classic like musician type, and I totally get that. I had a crush on, you know, all the singers and stuff when I was a teenager. I had a crush on guys who looked like singers when I was a teenager. But the guy himself comes off as very flat, and then in the credits, it looked like he was playing himself. So maybe that guy is actually some kind of well-known singer. I don't know how. He lacks the charisma of a doormat. Then you have another sort of bright light. First of all, the main girl does a decent job. None of this is her fault. She seems to be a good actress. I know I've seen her in other stuff, but I can't remember what. I feel like she's definitely playing younger than her age, because I think I saw her in something years ago. And that's the same thing for her best, well, not best friend, but her friend, the guy who lives next door. Obviously, you can tell if the guy next door is going to help pretty her up or sexy her up or whatever, that they're going to end up together, right? The guy next door is Robbie Amell. Now, I did look that up because he looks so familiar, and it's Stephen Amell from The Arrows, from Arrow's younger brother. I think he plays somebody on The Flash or something, and I think he's been on other TV shows and movies. But again, they were like so generic that I can't remember exactly what I saw him in, and I'm not looking it up because it's not really it's not the point of this movie to remind me of all the better stuff that your cast may or may not have done. So we do get one short montage of him giving her a makeover, sort of, but it's really silly, and I feel like sometimes with those you should get to do, like, where some of her outfits make sense. None of them made sense. I am wearing this Rue 21 dress in honor of the fact that it looked like they were shopping in either a Rue 21 or a Forever 21 during this scene. Yes, it was a funny scene, but it was also sad because of how they were doing it. So, like, the Mean Girls, like, when I thought I had it bad growing up and there were jerks who were, like, bullies. Now, you know, everybody bullies you on social media and takes videos of you. But then again, if I was in high school, I wouldn't do half the stupid shit I do now in public. Because you'd have that worry of the mean people bullying you. So that's kind of stupid, like, you know, I don't know, it's like this thing, that's the victim's fault. But yeah, it's kind of stupid. And, basically, it's very flat. Like, at one point I was watching it and I was like, if I was reviewing this, would I give it 2.5 stars? I'm like, okay, I think I would give it 2 just because there is some entertainment value there. You could watch it. It was short. It was like an hour and 30 minutes or an hour 35 minutes. So it had that going for it. But I really thought I would be more offended. At least when I'm offended by a movie, I feel something for it. I wasn't that offended when I saw it. The guy, he calls her a Duff, and then he makes it plain that he didn't mean it in a mean way. He's just really stupid. She ends up, like, slapping this kid in the face a bunch of times when he does something wrong that he didn't even do. And he doesn't even care. Like, besides the mother, the friend in the movie is the second best character. You know she's going to end up getting together with him. And he's just... I think it's the actor who's good, but he doesn't get that much to do with the character either. Like, he gets to show off his body or whatever and act dumb, but I feel like if that would work in, like, a 20-minute, you know, TV show or a 5-minute sketch, but he should have had more backstory. I don't know if that's asking for too much from these people. I kind of liked the jumpy editing that they had in parts of this movie. I like there was a big social media joke, like, I'm going to unfriend you here and block you there, like Facebook, Twitter, Vine, Tumblr, Pinterest. Like, I thought that part was funny. So there was some stuff that was decent about it, but in general, I do not recommend The Duff unless, like, you're some kind of hardcore fan of one of the members of the cast. And even then, maybe not. Maybe if you're having a drink, it might be better. But it's not even, like, to me, a guilty pleasure movie. It's just flat and... not something I can recommend. So, like I said, at the most, I would give The Duff, starring, I cannot remember the girl's name, and Robbie Amell, 2 stars. Let me know if there's let me know your opinions on the movie. Maybe I missed something. And also let me know if there's something specific that you want me to review in the future. And now, let me put my nerd glasses back on. Please like, subscribe, and share.